I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
Why do you panic?
the way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it prickles.
Watch Johnny's bite.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Tuesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Let me say a quick thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale, Kuko to be specific, from our fit. And you can always reach him on 0246 590 162. That's 0246 590 162. Also, a big thank you to all who spend time to watch us across the globe. Some knock off evening shifts. They come before they go to bed. They spend time to watch us. Some make, they set alarm. They make an appointment, listening and viewership and all of that. We appreciate you. Back home in Ghana, to all the radio stations across the country, Lolonyo, Jubilee, W, Y, all of those stations, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now, let me also quickly say a big thank you to the Cookie Tea. Cookie Tea is only a Smogan who can do what she did. Thank you, Cookie. I appreciate. Let me quickly begin this conversation in this manner. The Greater Accra Regional Minister on the 3rd of February promised us that we're going to have at least, is this 70% of the city properly lit up. And she gave herself 50 days. We are helping her to count, and I've said that we will point her in the direction where, the lights are not working. And so far, I must say that some places that I used to know that didn't have light are beginning to have light. If I did it in the days of Henry Quarton, I praised him, I will praise Oklu as well. It is only fair. But also to encourage that it should be the norm, not the exception, that citizens will have to now come and beg for street lights and traffic lights and road markings and reflectors and no. Citizens do not have to beg for those because we already pay for those. So we do not have to beg for those. Now, you know that as Ghanaian citizens who are contributors of or members of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, there are certain investments of SNIT, including GOIL, Ghana Oil Company Limited, that we are part of. Unless I am wrong, I know that SNIT is yet to inaugurate its board. Unless I am wrong, I know that SNIT is yet to inaugurate its board. But there's supposed to be a representative from the quarters of SNIT going to be inaugurated on the board of GOIL. And I ask myself, how? If I have not finished constituting my team, how do I then pick somebody to say, go and represent me here? So to our friends at GOIL, I'm saying good morning to you. If it is indeed the case that an institution that does not have its board fully constituted at this point still has somebody coming purporting to be, say, oh, I am the representative, we are watching. Cross that red line if it is the case. You just cross it. And you will see how the Ghanaian people will come for you. Cross that red line. I'm saying that unless I am wrong, SNIT is yet to inaugurate its board. How then do you find somebody from there going on to Goyle to say, I am the rep, inaugurate me? Don't we move from A before we get to B? Don't we move from A before we get to B? I'm saying that it has come to our attention. So we are watching. If it does happen, we'll tell the Ghanaian people. Now, there's also another big concern. And we'll come to the Clossack strike in a bit. But there's a big concern that we'll have to deal with. You know, put up the picture of the ex-servicemen who were thanked yesterday by President John Dramani Mahama. And this is on President Mahama's Facebook post or page. It says, I am grateful to have met with outgoing service commanders Isaac Kofi of Prisons, Julius A. Kuno of Fire Service, Ghana National Fire Service, and Kwame Isiatichi Immigration Service to express my sincere appreciation for their dedicated service to Ghana. Thank you for your leadership and commitment. Hashtag let's build Ghana together. And you can see the three men. You can scroll up, please, so we can see the other two. This is the Chief Fire Officer. Old. Let the retirees go, let the young grow. Let the retirees go, let the young grow. Let the retirees go, let the young grow. On the lower right-hand corner, you see the Controller General, former Controller General, replaced by Mr. Basintali. Let the retirees go, let the young grow. And then you can also see Patience Bawku Bonny's boss. Now, this is not the list. I'll come to it. I'll come to this. And we are grateful. You see, if President Mahama had not taken this decision to swap our very old men from the position to bring in relatively younger people, what it would have meant would be that they will be there and those behind them will reach the age of retirement and they will go home. That's evil. It's actually not fair. And I'm using this as a note of caution, respectfully, to all retirees who are holding on. I'm gathering a compendium of them. When I stand here and I start mentioning your names with your staff numbers, with your SNIT number, and I put your photo on TV, don't say I am being disrespectful. Because what you're actually doing is very disrespectful and offensive. The laws and rules are clear. We were told in 2022 that we will not be given any contract extension. We went to the IMF. It was part of the reasons. If you read the Constitution, it tells you that when you reach the age of 60, you have to go home. We know. If at all you have to be put there on contractual basis, you are going to be put there because there's nobody who can do your work. And while you are on contract basis, the reasoning is that you help somebody, you train somebody, you sharpen and hone somebody to take over from you. Are you telling me that you have a whole prison service, a whole immigration service, a whole Ghana National Fire Service, and then you have people who are stuck at the top? At a point, we got a very big appetite for retirees. It's actually an insult to the others who are in line, next in line to take over. Why? When Mr. Kofi Ejiri went home, didn't we find a place to put Mrs. Patience Bawku Bonny? When Isiatichi went home, didn't we find a place to put Basintali? In fact, there was even Kofi Owusu at the time. Together. So why do we do this to ourselves? People struggle to reach the top, and when you reach the top, you saturate it. You don't want to go home. This morning, you know your knee is hurting. You have actually even reduced your age. There's a case at NHIS, and I'll get to it in a bit, one of these days. Those of you who have reduced your ages, SNIT flags it and says that, oh, you are 60. But the person tells you that they are 54 or 56. Those who have reduced your age, at SNIT, your cards and everything is ready. You just have to go and confirm, but you are still holding on. I said, I'm digging all those things. I will come and put your pictures up here so your children and your grandchildren will see you for who you are. Don't think that we don't know. We know. Sometimes we relax a bit because it's some way. Now, the leadership at the Ghana Armed Forces have also been changed. So it looks like a complete overhaul of things. This is dated Monday, the 17th of March, 2025. Appointment of new service chiefs for the Ghana Armed Forces. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, has made changes in the command of the Ghana Armed Forces. The President has appointed the following as acting service chiefs for the Ghana Armed Forces, pending consultation with the Council of State. It will be formality. Acting Chief of Defense of the Defense Staff, Brigadier General William Ejapong. Acting Chief of Army Staff, Brigadier General Lawrence Kweku Betanu. Acting Chief of Naval Staff, Commodore Godwin Livinus Bessing. Acting Chief of Air Staff, Air Commodore Eric Ajin Frimpong. Acting Chief of Staff, Brigadier General Glover Ashong Anan. The appointments take effect from March 24, 2025. The President this afternoon met with the outgoing service chiefs led by the Chief of the Defense Staff, General Thomas Opompepra, at the Flagstaff House. Mr. Mahama thanked them for their dedicated service to the nation and assured them of his willingness to rely on their varied experiences and depth of knowledge to reset Ghana. Signed, Felix Kwachu Fosu MP, spokesperson to the President and Minister, Government Communications. So there are changes that have happened. Let me tell you a story. I used to have an uncle. And this uncle of mine knew all of us, his nephews and nieces, including his children. And he knew who was senior to who. But he favored some people more than the others, this uncle of mine. To the point where even those that he took along with him, he knew that he was not supposed to keep them for a very, very long time behind him as they grew, but he still did. He kept them there so that they will mature enough so that when he brings them back home, they will become seniors to the others, and then that when opportunities come, they will be the ones to take over. So this uncle, before he left to fly abroad, he put some of our cousins in certain strategic roles. This is my uncle. Then another uncle comes back and he had to manage the estate. So what he did was that he looked at younger nephews and nieces and then he gave them those roles to perform. Eventually, those who were performing those roles got angry and had to leave. That is what we call Plan B. You can promote, but I will appoint so that those who are in terms of juniors, in terms of intake, get to be there so that you are retired eventually. This is not about my uncle. Think about it properly. Now, yesterday I spoke to you about something I saw on Spintex Road. And I spoke about foreign direct investment, etc. I want to play a video of an expatriate and what he went through, just to solidify the point I've been making. And I hope the presidency is really, really paying attention and listening to, because I've been on this for 3 days. I hope they are listening to it. First, show me the facility at on the Spintex Road. Just show me the facility. And it is, I'm saying, I'm using that as a point of connection to many others that could be going through the same plight. Many others. Look, if you are an investor or if you are an employer You will feel what it is. Ask my other colleagues who employ maybe 5 people, 10 people. Ask them. They will tell you. When the month nears its end, they always have serious palpitations. They always dread it. If you're an employer, you always dread it. When the month is coming to an end, you always dread it. Because you put the video up. You always dread it. When the month is at its end, you always dread it. So for somebody to have not just this facility, I'm talking about many others. Put the video up so people can see it. Many others. It's painful. Imagine if the person is not even a foreigner, but the person is a local person who has gone to a bank for a facility to set up an institution, but the institution is not allowed to work. Imagine the amount of interest that a person has to pay just to make sure. Find me the white man's video and play it.
I recounted my own visit to Flagstaff House on December 26, 2017, in which the president's nephew or cousin, Asansu, who is one of 2 deputy chiefs of staff, solicited a $20,000 bribe in order to either gain access to the president or for further favorable action on the appeal which I was delivering on behalf of the company, which was a guarantee for a loan by the Exim Bank of Ghana for a 1 district, 1 factory loan from a Ghanaian bank. The companies that I work with are Yendi's nominee under 1 district, 1 factory. The circumstances of this solicitation of a bribe were that the first chairman of the New Patriotic Party in the northern region, Alhaji Sunday, had taken me to Flagstaff House, and he had prepared me by having the same conversation about 3 or 4 times, informing me basically what would happen, that we would probably meet with Asansu, we wouldn't meet with the president himself, and that Asansu had the power even to override the president's favor if he indicated, and we did meet with the president, that he was willing to support our getting this bank loan guarantee from the Ghana Exim Bank. Alhaji Sunday made it clear that Asansu's word was final. When I met with him briefly, he demanded to know what we wanted right away, which I appreciated his directness. And then as we were leaving the office where we had met, Asansu, first Vice Chairman Alhaji Sunday of the NPP in the northern region, and myself, the other 2 went off on their own for a few minutes, and then Alhaji Sunday returned with a note for us to go to the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and the note said that that ministry should hear what we had to say and then respond to him, Asansu, before further action. And Alhaji Sunday then conveyed to me the demand for the $20,000. I had already told him we would not pay any bribe, and as a result of this, I'm sure the Ministry for Trade reported back to Asansu that result, and there was no further action on our plea for a bank guarantee loan, a loan guarantee of the Exim Bank.
I'm just saying to you that the sins that were committed then, and this facility I've showed you, I saw it in 2017 coming up. We are in 2025. It is still not operational. If you dig further, what this white man is saying could have happened. I'm not saying it did, but it could have happened. That's the kind of country we live in. And I'm saying that people come here because they think that it is okay to invest here. It is okay. We are stable and all of that. We have a good climate. But when they come here, how do we treat them? Whether they be Chinese, they be Lebanese, they be Americans, they be Indians. How do we treat them? I'm not saying don't take taxes from them. Let them work. Tax them decently. But how do we treat them? And this, I'm using this as a case in point. Show me the facility one last time, then we'll move on. I'm using that as a case in point to connect with many others, many others. And since I started this campaign, you have no idea how many people have called me, expatriates, and people have called me to pour out their hearts to me. And I was surprised. Put the video up there, please. Many others. Many others. Come to me. Now, before I go to some issues about the Ghana Geological Service, I quickly want to appeal to my people in Bawku. I understand yesterday a WO2 was a field commander was killed. Come to me. Was killed. And I felt very, very sad about it because I still don't think that the people in Bawku and many other places where there is tribal war understand what they are doing to themselves. They don't. Because if they did, I'm not sure they would continually repeat what they are doing. But they don't understand. You see, when you fight, you actually are repelling people away from you. You're sucking people away from you. You are telling people, we don't want you around here. We don't want your businesses. Don't come and do irrigation for us. Don't come and invest here. We don't want it. And people are dying on a daily basis. Yesterday, a trained soldier, an experienced one for that matter, died. And it is painful. Once beautiful Bawku has now become like a ghost town, literally. People are living in fear. I had police officer friends who were sent there, who were yearning and eager to come home back to Accra. And you ask yourself, why? What are they fighting really over? If you ask them, if you call the people who are the feuding parties and you put them together and you sit them down and ask them, what are you fighting over? They don't know. People come here to Accra, they come and slave their life out. They come and slave it out. They carry heavy load. They do Okada business. They do all manner of stuff. They gather money only to go and buy bullets and guns to kill each other. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. People farm the whole period. They harvest the produce from the farm and then they go and use it to procure guns to kill themselves. It doesn't make sense. Look at this road. Do you think that any politician would take you serious if you had this road and you were fighting over? This road should have been tarred by now. Look at the way the town is. The town is underdeveloped and everybody is just sitting and watching. For how long will you keep fighting? For how long will you keep killing yourselves? For how long? How long would you keep doing that? If you are one of the persons or if you're among the persons who fuels this unnecessary tension in Bawku, shame on you. Bow down your head in shame this morning. Shame on you. Some of the people don't even know what they are fighting over. They might have been told something by their great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather, and that is what they are holding on to cause mayhem, kill people, maim, and fight just for nothing. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Are you happy with yourself that every now and then only you, there's always a curfew on your head? Are you happy? I mean, how do you even live as a normal human being? Every day there's some curfew on your head. How do you feel? Look, take me to the Geological Service Department. And CLOSAC said they are still on strike. Yeah, they have the right to be on strike. What I have said, and my position has not changed, pretty much that's as a position has not changed, is that the strike is what we call in Ghana, war. The other time, somebody called me claiming to be PRO of CLOSAC. He said, I want to explain issues to you. And he started shouting. I said, you don't shout. You want to explain the issues, explain the issues. Because you see, Another union within CLOSAG, who are members of CLOSAG, wrote a letter and said that the issues that you are talking about birth and death registry, you CLOSAG, you have taken the matter to court, where somebody was appointed and you took the matter to court. The court is yet to adjudicate, or yet to conclude the matter. You are starting another fight over another appointee. Yet the person who you took to court, or for which reason you went to court, has finished their term and gone. You don't chew dog meat, but you use your teeth to divide it for children. I bet who be you? You don't like dog meat, you don't chew it. But when it is cooked, you use your teeth to divide it for children. I beg, who be you? Oh yes, I'm asking a simple question. They are insisting on a strike. Yeah, we will not. Throw back for me. Play the video for me. Let me show you the hypocrisy. Play the video for me.
The gentleman who has been appointed is qualified as a banking officer, have done some small stints of teaching with Kumasi Polytechnic those days. When the minister was appointed as minister, he became a special assistant to the minister and do not have any credentials or qualification to be Director General of the Ghana Education Service.
If a teacher goes to do something about finance and banking, the teacher is told that you did not do any course related to education, and so you will not be accepted. And those certificates are not accepted in education. And so if the person being appointed today has background in banking, and is coming to head the very service where teachers went to do the same course and they were rejected, then those teachers whose certificates were rejected, we owe them an apology.
If you want to give us a banker as a Director General of Ghana Education Service, it's unfortunate because Bank of Ghana is there. Bank of Ghana is there. Ministry of Finance is there. In fact, they need more people in this sector because currently that sector, we all know what is happening.
The leadership has called for his removal without delay.
We are calling for his removal. He is not qualified to be Director General of the Ghana Education Service. Right. And his presence will not motivate professionals who have been in this service for more than 20 to 30 years and have risen to higher rank within the Ghana Education Service.
We have difficulty, particularly.
So, this is not CLOSAG, but I'm just telling you how our unions behave. I'm just telling you, this is not CLOSAG, but I'm just telling you how our unions behave. Once upon a time, an educationist, Professor Opoku Amankwa, he was sacked for whatever reason. They replaced him with a banker. The union say, hey, we will not agree with. They work with him. CLOSAG has taken somebody to court. The court is yet to finish on the matter. The union that wrote said, look, there are weightier matters. When the PRO called me, he said, oh, they are a small section. They are just 3,000. They are not even enough. Do you speak like that as a PR? I don't know where the person learned the PR from. I don't know which school. But my beloved GIJ will not teach you that. No. I don't know where. And you see, when you are on strike, but those who declare the strike come to the office, there's a problem. Those who declare the strike come to the office on a daily basis, but they're asking people not to come to the office. If I were the government, I would single out those who do not come to office and deal with them. Can you go on strike beyond 21 days? Is that what the labor law says? Act 651/2003. Is that what it says? I don't know. I'm just asking. But yesterday, some people came to me from Geological Service Department. They showed me some discrepancies in their pay slip, that they have been moved from civil service to public service. The people who did the migration for them themselves did not go through the right channel. So now they are having issues. When they were with civil service, their salaries were, say, X. Now they are with public service and their salaries have become M, so it's reduced. While I was checking up the pay slip, I saw CLOSAG dues and I saw CLOSAG fund. And then I asked them a simple question. But you pay CLOSAG dues, you pay CLOSAG fund, right? You contribute to the CLOSAG fund. If you have a problem, why don't you go to CLOSAG to go and tell them? Why have you come to John Hughes, come and tell me? And they heaved a sigh of disappointment. So this morning, I'm also heaving a sigh of disappointment. I don't pay Closac dues. They pay. It's on their pay slip. And I've said it here time without number that if you have a problem, you're a member of a union and you have a problem, and you cannot go to the union leadership and you come to me, show me the police version first, and you come to me, there's a problem. There's a bank in Ashanti region. It's not a Ghanaian bank, maybe. There's a bank in Ashanti region. Kejetia, to be specific. You have been asked to hold on to somebody's salary when the salary has come from controller and accountant general and falling into the person's account, has been credited to the account. But somebody has written to you. When they went to GCB said, we won't do it because it is not legal. But you, the bank in Kejetia, you have done it. You have small time to reverse that trend and apologize. They are threatening to sue you, by the way. I'm just telling you. Now, put this up. This one is, let's see it, 1st of March, 2025. Put it up there. Then I'll read for you what it, because it's not legible. So put the notice up quickly. Sarah, this is the last one. Put the last one. Put this one up. Let's see this one. This is about some serious matter. This one is the same geological service issue. Look at it well. This is from the Ghana police, but you can't read it well. But I've extracted it. It's a restricted document I'm showing to you. And I will deal with the issues at geological service one after the other. Now, give me the typed version. Let's read it together. The director, Ghana Geological Service Authority, Accra, requests for assistance. The Cantonments Division, Criminal Investigations Department, is investigating a case of forgery of official documents involving a suspected fraudster. Brief facts. On the 8th of February 2025, a complaint was received from the Overseas Criminal Investigations Office of the United States of America indicating that one Mr. Kakalchi Innocent Taki, the Kalkache Innocent Taki, the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Geological Service Authority, has been involved in the forgery of documents related to geological surveys. The documents in question were submitted to the U.S. authorities for financial transactions and funding applications. To aid the investigations, the following persons have been listed for verification as staff of the Ghana Geological Survey Authority. Now, this is where the plot thickens. I can tell you, 2 people here are staff. The rest, I'm not sure. I can't vouch for them. Mr. Kalkache, Innocent Taki, Deputy Director General. Mr. Joseph N. Annan, Technical Officer. Is he a worker? I don't know. Mr. William Kwe Jakete, Regional Director. Is he a staff? I don't know. Mr. Ebenezer Apau Jesse, is he a research officer? Is he a staff? I don't know. Scroll up. Mr. Frank Osei Wusu Ansa Boni, a finance officer. Is he a staff? I don't know. Mr. Haruna Anuma, monitoring and evaluation officer. Is he a staff? I don't know. Mr. Kweku Owusu, GIS scientist. Is he a staff? I don't know. Mr. Isaac Osei, IT officer. Is he a staff? I don't know. Miss Mercy Yeboah, assistant GIS officer. Is he a staff? I don't know. Miss Felicia Efua Ochri, communications officer. Is he a staff? I don't know. It will be appreciated if you could confirm whether the above listed people are staff of the Ghana Geological Survey Authority or otherwise. Kindly release the said Kakalche Innocent Taki to report to the Divisional Crime Officer on Thursday, the 13th of March, 2025 at 10 a.m. to assist investigations. Counting on your usual cooperation, please. Maxwell Sapon, Superintendent Divisional Crime Officer, is restricted. Now, this looks like something that happened at HEFRA. You remember I gave you a list from HEFRA, Health Facilities Regulatory Authority. You remember I gave you a list. Same list where people were supposed to be staff, but they are not staff. You remember I gave you. It looks like similar thing that happened at Geok. You remember I gave you a list, Geok, where people were pretending to be staff and collecting salaries, but they were not. So this one, I'm greeting Iyoko. I know that Iyoko had gotten involved in the HEFRA matter, but at some point, some people called them to back off. Those people who called you to back off, they are off. Yoko, go and do your work. If not, I will come and expose you myself. I know that when the Georg matter happened, Yoko got involved. They were again called to back off. Go back and do your work. If not, I will come and tell the people what happened in the detail. We need to run our country and run it efficiently and effectively. This whole concept, and I'm saying this is a police document. Show the police version. That's the final picture we are showing. Will go away. This is a police version of a document. I didn't generate it. It's a police document. If the police like, they should come and tell me that what I'm saying is wrong. I'm just saying that this one, it has happened. There's a matter of fraud. We used official channels. The people in there, I can maybe vouch for 2. The rest, are they staff? And where did they come from? And who puts them there? There's more dues at Geological Service Authority Department. But I'm saying to you that if you are a member of a union and you pay dues, and you have issues and you can't go to your bosses at the union to tell them, and all they are interested in is press conferences and press releases, please leave the union and come and give me your dues, because I'm doing the work that your union leaders are supposed to be doing. And if the so-called PROs and whatever it is that call people to shout, they need to focus on their work. Because at the end of the day, when your pay slip comes, the deduction doesn't come into my pocket. It goes to them. You must get your union leadership to work in your interest. Whether you're a teacher, a nurse, a doctor, whatever, get your union leaders to work. Force them to work, because some of them have decided that they won't either go to the regular work. They'll go and sit in a certain union office. They'll be drawing salaries from what you pay as dues and fund. Do they do the work? Do they serve your interest? I leave it here. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717.